friends, we have completed the normal pattern of secondary growth in dicot stem and dicot root. Now we are going to discuss today the anomalous type of secondary growth. Anomaly means that is different from the normal pattern. The secondary growth which is different from the normal pattern is known as anomalous type of secondary growth. So we shall discuss today the anomalous secondary growth. Actually, the anomalous secondary growth is due to the change in the pattern of the division of the cambium ring, and this is due to environmental condition, change in the environmental condition, physiological conditions, mechanical conditions, and they may be of without any cause. So we shall discuss one by one all types of anomalous secondary growth which takes place in the dicot plants. Hello friends, today we are going to discuss anomalous type of secondary growth. First of all, we should know what are the types of growth in plants. First, consider a plant which is going to emerge from a germinating seed. Let us assume that this is a germinating seed. In this, after the germination, a new seedling emerges from it, and it has two axes. One is going upward and the other is going downward. The upward portion is known as the shoot portion, and the downward portion is known as the root portion. Here it grows and grows in length, and afterward it formed after the germination of a seed a axial type of body is formed, in which it is the shoot apex, and here is the root apex. The tip of the root is known as the root apex. Here the tip of the shoot is known as the shoot apex. So it gradually grows in length, and it after some times the stem, this portion that forms the stem, also becomes larger in breadth, or the girth of the plant increases, and also the length of the plant increases. So this is the whole plant. This is inside the earth, that is the root portion, that is the stem, and this is the upper portion, that is of leaf, etc. So in the plant, the increase of length of the plant is known as the primary growth. primary growth. We know that there are three types of meristem responsible for the primary growth. One is the apical meristem, which is situated at the shoot apex and on the root apex. So, due to division and redivision of this mechanical meristem, the axis of the plant elongates and its length increases. The next is the intercalary meristem. Intercalary meristem. You know that when the plant grows in length, at some point there are this is known as, there is a knot like a structure. It is known as the node, and this is the node, and in between the two nodes the portion of the stem is known as internode. At the node there may be some leaf. So a second type of meristem is found just at the portion of the leaf bases, or in generally, and just beneath the internode. This type of meristem, which is found just below the internode or at the base of leaf, is known as intercalary meristem. Actually, the intercalary meristem is the part of the apical meristem. Actually, the apical, when the length grows, the apical meristem, some meristematic tissue it leave, and this portion of the meristem, which is at the internode, just below the internode or at the base of the leaf, is known as the intercalary meristem. So, due to activity of this intercalary meristem, the leaf lamina or the internode grows. So, and it is also found in between the permanent tissue. So we have no concern for this. Just for recalling, this is the second type of meristem, that is known as the intercalary meristem, which is responsible for primary growth. And the next is the lateral meristem. We know that in the dicot stem there is the vascular bundle, in which this is the phloem upward and the xylem inward. So in between the two there is a patch of cells that later on become meristematic, and this is known as the cambium. Actually, this cambium is a type of meristem situated just laterally in the plant. When the plant, we take the example of an erect plant. So, in the erect plant, the cambium is situated. This is the meristematic tissue which is situated lateral in the lateral position, and hence it is termed as the lateral meristem. So by the meristematic activity of this is primarily found, and so it is known as the lateral meristem. When the time comes, the plant increases in length, it goes on increasing, and with respect to the growth in the length, there should be the growth in the girth, so that the ratio should be constant. Otherwise, the plant may fall to the ground. Therefore, in the dicot plants, either in the root or in the stem, a type of secondary growth is performed, and in the secondary growth, we know that in case of the stem, dicot stem, in which the vascular bundle is conjoint, collateral, and open, means xylem and phloem together forms vascular bundle, and the xylem is innerward and phloem is upward, and so it is called as the collateral vascular bundle, and a patch of cambium is found in between them, so it is open. So in the dicot stem, as we have already learned, that the patch of the cambium, which is situated in between the vascular bundle, xylem and phloem, it becomes meristematic, and this patch of the cambium is known as intrafascicular cambium, that laterally grows and it joins to the next vascular bundle, and hence a cambium ring is produced, and in the cambium ring it starts to cutting large amount of xylem inward and a small amount of phloem outward, and this is known as the secondary growth. This is xylem, secondary xylem, and this is secondary phloem, and hence the girth of the plant increases. After this activity, a cambium ring is also formed in the cortical region, and there cork cambium is formed, and then cork is formed, and afterward the result is the increase in the girth of the plant. So it is called as the secondary growth. Secondary growth. In the dicot root, the cambium is primarily not found, but after at the when plant starts to perform secondary growth, a cambium ring is formed just below the protoxylem and just above the phloem, as we have learnt in the secondary growth of root, dicot root, and it forms a wavy strip of cambium that later on transformed into a ring-like structure, and it starts to cut secondary xylem and secondary phloem just like the dicot stem, and hence the girth of the stem also increases. So this is the normal pattern, but this is the secondary growth of normal pattern. But in some cases, the activity of the cambium may changed. It may change. Either this position is changed, the cambium at the normal position, it and it this there are conditions. First, the cambium is at normal position, but its activity becomes abnormal, or the cambium itself is at abnormal position. Therefore, its activity is also abnormal. Sometimes the cambium also is broken into strips and its activity becomes abnormal. So there are variations in the abnormality, and hence this type of secondary growth is, in simple word, it is a abnormal type of secondary growth, which is also known as the anomalous secondary growth. So this type of abnormal secondary growth generally occurs in woody climbers, which is known as lineage. This is known as the lineage. It may be due to physiological or morphological point of view. This abnormality in the secondary growth occurs, and there are two types of abnormalities. First, due to the environmental, means either it is physiological or due to the mechanical support, and hence this type of secondary growth is known as the adaptive type of secondary growth. Adaptive type of secondary growth. Anomalous secondary growth. Adaptive type of anomalous secondary growth. Second is non-adaptive type of anomalous secondary growth. So this is differentiated by one of the anatomist, which is known as the Haberland. So Haberland differentiated the two patterns of the anomalous secondary growth into adaptive, which is due to the environmental changes, and other is not due to environmental changes but usual type of abnormal secondary growth, and hence it is known as non-adaptive type of the secondary growth. So first of all, we see the adaptive type of secondary growth. Adaptive type of secondary growth. This is the first adaptive type of secondary growth. In this type of secondary growth, two types of situation is found. One, where the cambium is at normal position, cambium is at normal position, but it's irregular, irregular or peculiar activity the unusual position, unusual arrangement of xylem and phloem takes place. The second condition is the cambium itself is abnormal in disposition. Disposition means its placement, and the secondary tissue as a result are unusual in structure and arrangement, or the original cambium is replaced by other cambium layers formed later, which are unusual both in arrangement and behavior. So these are the two types of position. One is in the adaptive type of secondary growth. One is the cambium is at normal position, but its irregular and peculiar activity, unusual arrangement of xylem and phloem takes place. Second is the cambium itself is abnormal in disposition, and the secondary tissue as a result are unusual. It is the common thing that if the cambium itself is at abnormal position, its resultant secondary tissue are unusual in structure and arrangement, and or the second condition in this may occur that the original cambium is replaced by other cambium layers. Means the original cambium is replaced and the other cambium layers are formed later on, which are unusual in both arrangement and behavior. That the cambium is formed later on is the unusual. They are different from the normal pattern, in their arrangement and the behavior. So, in the two headings, we will discuss the adaptive type of secondary growth. So, first of all, we come to the adaptive type of anomalous secondary growth. First, in this type, the first condition, when the cambium is in normal disposition means the cambium is found where it is supposed to be found. So, in this type, this type of the anomalous secondary growth occurs generally in lineage, that is the woody climbers, and due to the unusual activity of the cambium, amount of xylem and phloems are cut in disproportion. Means, in the normal pattern, the xylem is cut much in amount in the secondary growth and the phloem is less than the xylem, but here the xylem and phloem, secondary xylem and phloem, which are formed due to abnormal activity of the cambium, is disproportionately formed. Means, it is somewhat different from the normal pattern of the secondary growth, and due to this, the peculiar type of structures, ridge and furrows or deep ridges and some other structures may occur. So, one by one, we will discuss what are the different type of abnormal type of secondary growth in this heading. The first is Aristolochia type. Aristolochia type. Here, in this type, the cambium ring is complete and the whole of cambium does not produce secondary growth. First, cambium ring is complete. Second, whole of cambium does not produce secondary vascular tissue. Large portion of it produces parenchymatous cells that leads to formation of wood rays and the secondary vascular tissue the secondary vascular tissue appears to consists of discrete vascular bundle. Example is Aristolochia and Begonia fructicosa. Begonia fructicosa. Then let us see what happens in this case. First of all, it is normal. This is the endodermis. Here is the pericycle. Here is the pericycle, and this is the cambial ring formed. Cambium ring formed. But this is the normal pattern. It cuts large amount of xylem here. It is the xylem, secondary xylem. This is secondary phloem, and likewise here also large amount of xylem is formed that with respect to the phloem. This is the secondary phloem. This is secondary xylem. Likewise here also this is the secondary xylem. This is the secondary xylem. This is secondary xylem. This is secondary phloem. But what happens in this case, when in the case of Aristolochia, when the cambial activity starts, this is the cambial ring, this is the endodermis here. What happens? It starts to cut large amount of xylem, and the phloem, the very much amount of xylem from the normal pattern this is the xylem, and this is the primary xylem. This is the secondary xylem. This is the secondary xylem, and this is the secondary phloem. This is the primary phloem. This is primary phloem. This is secondary phloem. The normal pattern is this, that this cambium, ring of the cambium, inward in the entire ground tissue, it starts to form secondary xylem inward, secondary phloem upward. But here, in the case of Aristolochia, at the point of the vascular bundle only, the secondary xylem is produced and secondary phloem is produced. and in between the vascular bundles, two vascular bundles, here this cell, this is the parenchymatous cells are produced. Here in between the two, parenchymatous cells are produced. Cells are produced which later on transformed into wood rays. So what happens at the point when secondary xylem is produced? Here this is the large amount of secondary xylem. Consequently, the primary xylem is pushed at the point here inward. This is the position of primary xylem, and these are the new cell cut, which is the secondary xylem. And here also in the upward at the position of the primary vascular bundle, here the phloem is, primary phloem was primarily found here, but after the anomalous secondary growth, this primary phloem is pushed somewhat upward, and this is the position of the primary phloem, because newly cut secondary phloem pushes it upward, more upward, and these are the abnormal structures formed here and there, and in between the two vascular bundle, the normal condition is that the secondary xylem is formed wholly in the ground tissue, in the ring. This ring forms at each and every point inward the secondary xylem in the large amount, and the secondary phloem upward in the small amount with respect to the secondary xylem. But here exceptionally, in between the vascular bundles, the newly secondary tissues are not formed, means secondary xylem is not formed or secondary phloem is not formed, but this secondary phloem and xylem are formed in the primary vascular bundles, and in between the two vascular bundles only parenchymatous cells are produced here, which later on transformed into wood rays. So this is the condition in the Aristolochia stem. Then we will see what is the final condition, what is the final structure. This is after the secondary growth. The normal thing that after the secondary growth there is a secondary cortical secondary in the cortical region there is the cork cambium produced, and it forms corks and other things, cork upward and secondary cortex inward, and hence the girth increases. So it is the normal pattern, and it also occur in the Aristolochia stem. But the difference I have told you, but the result of the secondary growth is this, that after the secondary growth is completed in the Aristolochia stem, the final structure is this, that at the point here primary xylem, this is the secondary xylem. This is the secondary phloem, and this is the primary phloem. This pattern is found at every position of the vascular bundle. Here, this is the secondary xylem, this is the secondary phloem. Likewise, this is the primary xylem, here is the secondary xylem, this is the secondary phloem. This is the primary xylem, this is the secondary xylem, this is secondary phloem, this is primary phloem. This is the secondary phloem, this is the primary xylem, this is the secondary xylem, and this is the primary phloem. So likewise this one vascular bundle shows like this. This is the primary xylem. These are cells of secondary xylem. This is the metaxylem, this is the protoxylem, hence it is endark, and this is the secondary phloem, this is the primary phloem. And in between these there is the rays, wood ray parenchymatous cells formed that later on transformed into rays, and it is called the wood rays. Wood rays here, and in this some point some parenchymatous patches appears, and this is known as the pervascular fiber. Pervascular fiber, and the next to this is here after the in the cortical region the cambium, cork cambium is formed, that is the layer of phellogen, and which forms the layer of phelloderm, and in the this is phloem, the cork, this is the cork, and at some points in the these are the parenchymatous cells formed at some points, and it is at the direct contact with the atmosphere, and here the cells are found that help in the transportation of air inside and outside, and here the exchange of air takes place, and these are known as the lenticels. lenticels. So this is the topographical structure of Aristolochia stem. So in this heading, the first is the Aristolochia stem, which we have completed, and the second in the adaptive, where the cambium is at normal disposition is the second type of abnormal secondary growth is known as Bauhinia type. In this type of secondary growth, apart from the normal disposition of the cambium, the activity of cambium is changed, and at the some point it starts to cut different amount of vascular bundles. Let us here see this. Here phloem is, and the large phloem is in the lesser amount, and the xylem is at the larger amount, secondary xylem. This is secondary phloem, but at the other point the xylem is formed in larger amount and the phloem is formed in larger amount. This is secondary phloem, this is secondary xylem, and here also the secondary phloem, secondary xylem. This is secondary phloem, secondary xylem is less, and here the secondary xylem is greater and the secondary phloem is less. Secondary xylem is greater. That leads to the formation of ridges and furrows in the stem. Here it's due to this activity, secondary growth, there are at the some points the plant shows ridges. Here are the ridges, and these are the furrows. This is the furrow, this is the ridge, and this is the furrow. So due to abnormal activity, ridges and furrows are produced. The secondary vascular bundles appear in the form of ridges and grooves. This gives the stem a ridge appearance. This condition results due to variation in the activity of the cambium ring, because at some point the cambium ring produce large amount of xylem with respect to the phloem, and at the some other point it cuts less amount of phloem than the xylem, and hence the structure, the final result in the structure is that it appears like the ridges and furrows. So at the some points it is inactive or less active in the at some point the cambium is inactive or less active, and at the other point it is more active. So ridges and furrows are found at the in the final result of the secondary growth, and this is the example of the example is Bauhinia. Here this type of structure occurs after the secondary growth, due to the activity of cambium at some point more, and at the other point it is less, and hence the result is the this type of structure occur. This is the example of Bauhinia, which is found in Bauhinia religiosa, Bauhinia religiosa. So this is Bauhinia religiosa. So this is the example. The next type of anomalous secondary growth in adaptive, where the cambium is normal, is of Bignonia type. The third is Bignonia type. This is Bignonia type. What happens at the first, the cambium is at, this is the endodermal layer here, the cambium here, this is endodermal layer, this is the pericycle layer, and when the cambium ring is formed, what happens? The cambium ring formed, what happens? At 4 point it starts to cut, what? This is the normal pattern. This is the ring of secondary xylem is formed here, and this is the secondary phloem is formed, the ring is here. This is the normal pattern, but at some point here, at 4 point here, it forms more phloem, more phloem. Here also more phloem at 4 point. So, and the secondary xylem here is produced normally. Here it is the secondary xylem, and this is the secondary phloem. At the 4 point, this is the xylem here is formed. This is the more phloem here. This is the phloem. This is the phloem. This is the phloem. This is the phloem. So at this point, what happens? This is the primary phloem. This is the secondary phloem. And as the result, the secondary xylem appears as the cross here. This is the cross like that is the secondary xylem, like the wheel, and this is the secondary phloem. In the phloem, this is secondary primary xylem. This is secondary xylem, and this is the this at the 4 point, at the 4 point the phloem is secondary phloem is produced, and in the secondary phloem there found strips of sclerenchyma and sclerenchymatous tissues here. This is the sclerenchymatous tissue. This is the phloem. This is the patches of sclerenchymatous tissue at intervals, and at the end that is the position of the primary xylem. Primary xylem. So this is the structure. This strip of sclerenchymatous bands, this bands of sclerenchyma provides begonia stem the elasticity so that it cannot be broken due to torrent water or pressure of the wind, because it is a lineage, and so it shows the unique pattern in the behavior. These are the secondary xylem formed. These are the secondary xylem formed. This is the secondary xylem. Secondary xylem. So these are all secondary xylem. In between these 4 parenchymatous secondary phloem, the secondary phloem structures. These are the secondary xylem. So this gives the mechanical strength, and the strip of the sclerenchyma found in the secondary phloem gives the plant elasticity, so the plant stem does not break, and that is all about the adaptive type of anomalous secondary growth, in which the cambium is at the normal position. Now in the next class we will study in the heading of the adaptive abnormal secondary growth, in which the cambium is at abnormal position. Thank you.